Good morning. This is another episode of NinjaTrader Unplugged. So I want to talk to you today about one of the least understood and most commonly used indicators included in your NinjaTrader indicator package that comes free. So you don't have to buy tools from other vendors, especially in the early phases of your career. There's so many great tools in here that you can use. One of them, as recently noted, is the MACD. And if you apply it to a chart, you get this wonderful looking oscillator, but usually that's where the mystery starts. And you say to yourself, hey, what do I do with it? How do I use this thing? And now there's a whole host of theories and opinions, and most of those look really good in hindsight. Meaning, with a lot of the free indicators that come with your package, you're able to sort of see after the fact things like, whoa, did you see that divergence right there? And did you see how the market kind of reversed right here, right after it? But in the moment, it's really hard to see and process those things. And so I've got a solution for you if you're up for it and want to take an indicator like this, which is really powerful, but without some seasoning and some extensive screen time, you might lose the value of what's there and just let it pass by. Let me show you what I mean. So right here, I'm using the same indicator. This is a MACD. It's got the same settings that we were just using in the other window pane. It's a 12 fast, 26 slow with a 9-period smoothing factor, and I'm pretty sure that's the default value for all of the NinjaTrader customers. Now, I changed mine from a line to a bar. And right off the bat, when you change something from a line to a bar, you give it depth, you give it a dimension, and your eye is actually able to more readily see the patterns as they occur, as opposed to sort of a one-dimensional line. So don't be afraid to change how an indicator in NinjaTrader plots. Especially use colors that are reinforcing and soothing to you. One study shows that these kinds of medium to light blues actually instill a sense of calmness as well as confidence when you use them. See if we change it over here. We're starting to develop a pretty good looking chart, and let me tell you what this last piece of the puzzle is in fact doing. We've got a free indicator for you here today that sort of demystifies oscillators. In particular, the oscillator we're using today is the MACD, and I'm going to give you instructions on how to download it here. It's yours to use, free to distribute, whatever you want to do with it. And essentially what I've told it to do is look for any place this MACD changes direction. Look for any place that this overbought, oversold slope changes in its angularity. If it starts moving up, put a green arrow. If it starts moving down, put a red arrow. So that way you can see in the moment, as opposed to 5 bars, 20 years later when someone tries to convince you this was a really great area. You can see potential areas to look for trades. Now, I've got 2 free indicators on here. One is the oscillator alert. The other is the one that you've seen me throw out there before. It's the EMA slope color. And I like the 120. Your mileage may vary and you can change it as you go. But here we're starting to build a trading plan. And in essence, what I'm asking you to look for is this. When you set this up, and I'll give you the template for it when I release this video to NinjaTrader, I want you to look for signals that are in the direction of your trend line of choice, like these. So find all of the green arrows in the direction of the trend and isolate them. And then vice versa, find all of the signals in the direction of the trend when the market is moving down. You will also have crossover signals. So when you have a green arrow and the MACD is sloping up, you'll find a value that jumps across your moving average, closes above. And you can note those as well. So now we've put the first pillar in place of a very basic trading plan. And we've said, hey, when I see a signal in the direction of the trend based off of the MACD that is not ambiguous, that is not mysterious, that doesn't require discretion after the fact, I'm going to actuate on that. I'm going to actualize, rather, and do something. And so you'll find with this kind of an indicator that any kind of responsible risk-reward management now kicks in. So if you just put your stops underneath the signal candle, now it becomes a trade that you can manage. So this is the first step in responsibly building a trading plan. You want to avoid language that is wishy-washy. You could have done this, you might have done that, you should have done that. Don't you see this? Don't you see that? Try to pinpoint, taking the power of the indicators that come with NinjaTrader, try to pinpoint exact areas that are back testable. It's not a real word, but it should be. Try to find areas and instances that you can go back and say, okay, with a X tick stop and a X tick target, how would I have performed over the last week adopting this strategy? Now, those of you that do trade extremes and look for highs and lows, there's another alternative here. You can remove your EMA slope color. And now I want you to scroll down to another naked indicator here. There's one called a Keltner channel. And if you activate that, now take a look at what we've got. You can look for signals that are at or below the Keltner channel when you have a turn on your MACD. And so if you're a bottom seller or a top seller, you can look for those areas. And in this case, I only really see one example right here. You can look for those examples where you have a touch. And now you can trade extremes and use, again, responsible money management and risk management in targeting it. But all of this hinges on the ability to see what the indicator is telling us, and the oscillator alert tool is a great way to get started with that. So let me tell you how to get it. Simply go to our website at the following link, backtothefuturetrading.com/unplugged. UN, Uniform Nancy, Papa Lima, Uniform Golf Golf, Echo Delta, Unplugged. And then just give me your name and email address. That'll tell me where to send the Dropbox links to. And using Dropbox, you'll be able to not only download and install the indicator, but the screenshots for the oscillator alert settings I've used. I'll put the dates on that screenshot as well, along with the template file to load the charts up as we've created them here today. If you find what we're teaching reliable and useful, I'd also encourage you, while you're on the website, to click on our View the Demo feature of our website, and we'll actually show you that using the power of the NinjaTrader platform, you're able to do some pretty amazing things, including predict the future times that the market you trade are most likely to go up or down, which is pretty awesome. Remember, there's a whole host and array of indicators that come with NinjaTrader free of charge that you should explore, discover, work with, and really start to determine what kind of trader you are and what angle, what method you want to follow. There is no one right way. It's a very personal journey, and we're privileged and pleased to be able to help you if this is educational at all along that journey. I'm Michael with backtothefuturetrading.com. This has been another production of NinjaTrader Unplugged.